What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training. And today we're going to be breaking down if you should run track this offseason to get faster. We're going to talk about the benefits and some of the non-benefits of running track. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it could give you some value. But also, fellas, if you are a wide receiver and you guys would like to know 100+ wide receiver route running, catching drills that you guys can do this offseason, check out that very first link in the description below for our 28-day on-field wide receiver workout plan. Like I said, it's 100+ wide receiver drills mapped out with sets, reps, and video examples of each drills to help you guys get better this offseason. So check out that very first link in the description below if you want to improve your skills. Let's get started with this video. So now, running track is one of those things that so many football players do in the offseason, whether you're in high school, maybe whether you're in youth. And I think, honestly, track can be super beneficial if you have the right kind of coach. So what do I mean by that? So I personally ran track in high school. I ran it for about a week and a half. And I thought it was the biggest waste of time, dedicating an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours after school, and when I could be lifting with the team, trying to build chemistry with my teammates, throwing after lift, whatever it might be, because I felt like we were just running laps around the track. And there are a lot of track programs across the country that are like that. Now listen, you'll get in crazy good shape. If you're a 100-meter, 200-meter guy, which is what I would recommend, I also recommend trying to do the 400-meter. That's, maybe not necessarily the body type of a football player, but it's going to get you in great shape, but mainly the 1 and the 2. I felt like we were just running sprints. It's like, why am I here dedicating 2 hours with a coach who's not really coaching me, who's not really helping me get faster? We're just running, right? Yeah, I was in good cardio shape, but that's not what I'm running track for. You guys honestly have to understand that in the off season, your time is insanely valuable. So if you're a guy who needs to get faster and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go run track at my school, but let's say the head track coach, is a volunteer guy. And I don't blame the guy who's running the track team. I blame necessarily the school, because the school necessarily doesn't dedicate enough, especially if it's a public school, enough funds to the track program. So they maybe don't have the money to go out there and pay, a head coach like they would pay a head coach of a high school football team. Like, let's say, for example, you live in Texas, you got a public school, Texas high school football coach. He's probably making 6 figures a year because they're paying him that because they invest in the football program of the school because football's so huge in Texas. Now, track, I don't know anything about track in Texas, other states, but a lot of schools are like that. They just simply don't have the investment, so it's usually a volunteer teacher who maybe ran track in high school. Does he have any idea about speed mechanics? Probably not. So that's probably when it should feel like, okay, this is kind of a waste of my time. Now, again, there are a lot of benefits to it, get you in good shape, but if you find a good coach, that is when you can get a lot of benefit out of track. Now, a coach who's going to work with you on your start, who's going to work with you getting a little bit more explosive out of the blocks, a coach who's going to take you through running mechanic drills like so that I'm showing to work on your stride, where this guy's striding over hurdles. If you're not doing those things at track practice and you just feel like you're going through a dynamic warm-up and then you're just running sprints, guys, you could look up on YouTube dynamic track warm-ups and track workouts and get the same thing out of that if you're not being coached. It's about, and again, I say it's an investment, and when I say it's an investment, a lot of people think, oh, well, I'm not spending any money. How is it an investment? You're investing your time. You have to understand that in the offseason, what's the offseason for football players? Let's say it starts in December, right? You have December until probably about when does spring ball start? Like April? And then from April to March, you don't really have an offseason. You're kind of in season doing spring ball, I guess. And then, you could say or April to May, and then from May to probably August 1st, you have an off season. So you have a limited amount of days. You can't be going out there running every single day. You're going to kill yourself. Your body's never going to grow. You can't be lifting every day. So you have to maximize the time that you have when you're doing field work, when you're doing gym work. You need to get on a good schedule, and when you're doing speed work. So if you feel like you're wasting 3 hours of your day, tack on homework, tack on maybe a lift, you're not going to have any time to work on other football skills. Now, maybe if you invest in a speed coach who's actually going to train you, who's actually going to teach you about running mechanics, actually going to teach you about what you can do to get faster, and you make that financial investment to save yourself some time so you could work on other things, that's what's going to help you guys become a faster athlete. So let's look at this example for right now. So this is a kid working out. I just pulled this clip off of Twitter, honestly. Now he's at some local gym, I'm sure. They got box jump equipment, they got hurdles, he's working on his stride, they got medicine ball, band work for all explosive stuff, right? So how much would a gym membership like this cost? Let's say, it's a smaller scale gym and it costs maybe let's say $80 a month, right? Let's say it's $80 a month, maybe a little bit more than that. But that $80, you could go there 3 times a week, spend an hour at each session, right? Rather than go to a track practice and waste 2 to 3 hours, 5 days a week. So you just created for yourself however much more time that is to where you could work on-field stuff. You could dedicate more time to your schoolwork so you could have good grades to stand out to a college coach. It's all about optimizing your time. So if you guys don't understand that and you're just going to track, oh, it's going to get me faster, but really it's just getting you in good shape, why not just go run for 30 minutes? Just go run sprints at the park across the street from your house for 30 minutes and you're going to get the same benefit that you would out of a track practice. Now, again, like I said, if it's a good track coach, that is a different story. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, coach, I don't want to spend money on a gym membership. I don't want to invest money into a speed coach. So you either have two things. You either have money or you have time. And I'm assuming a lot of you are watching these videos to help your skills get better because you're working at it every day. So what are some things that you could do on your own time that maybe you don't need a speed coach for to correct your form? Maybe there's not a speed coach that you know of in your area. What are some things that you can do? And that's what we're going to talk about now. So if you need to get faster, something you could do is plyometrics. So if you got like a box at your house, you could build a box. If you got a back porch, you got a bed, you could do box jumps, hold 2 dumbbells. These are like loaded box jumps where it's like a weighted resistance band type thing and you're working on your vertical jump, your explosion, activating your fast twitch fibers because those fast twitch fibers are what directly translate to on-field explosion. So football players should be training like football players. You're not training like bodybuilders. We're not trying to get massive arms and chest, and we're trying to build our performance. So doing exercise like this is what's going to get you faster and more explosive on the field. And I'm assuming for all of you that are watching this, that's what you want because you're watching the video. So doing exercise like box jumps, single leg box jumps. If you have access to any kind of weight room equipment, doing some kind of like resistance, maybe you put chains on the end of the bar and you emphasize exploding up. Maybe you're doing jump squats where you drop down and you explode up. And then one last thing I want to talk about that helped my speed tremendously is stretching. So I personally did not have a speed coach growing up. My family couldn't afford that. They were already paying for a quarterback coach. So it was kind of like, all right, we're going to invest in a quarterback coach. And, I was lucky enough to have a gym at the house. So, I would work out in the gym. I would go to the quarterback coach. And every now and then the quarterback coach would bring out, and I've told this story before, he'd bring out a speed coach. He's an Olympic gold medalist. You guys could look him up. His name's Maurice Green. So Maurice Green would come out and he would put us through this track workout. And I think my quarterback coach might have paid him to be there. I don't know. I can't imagine he was there just, out of the goodness of his heart. Maybe he was there, but whatever, regardless, he would tell us all kinds of things to do for speed. And I was thinking, man, this is something that I've never heard of before. I didn't have a track background. Like I told you, I ran track for about maybe a week and a half and I hated it because I felt like it was a waste of time. So me going out there maybe once a month with this Maurice Green guy, I got so much more value out of that than spending years at track. If I would have spent years at track, because he told me specific things that I could do. He's like, hey, you need to work these exercises. Hey, you need to be doing this. And one last thing he told me, stretch 30 minutes every night before you go to bed. Stretching is one of those things that insanely drop. Like everybody loves to talk about the 40 time. I think the 40 time is complete crap, but everybody loves to talk about the 40 time. My 40 time was stuck at a 4.8 for years. I'm talking for years. I was fast as hell when I was 8th grade, 9th grade, and then I started to plateau and everybody started passing me up. I'm like, in terms of the 40-yard dash, but I never felt like I was slow, but my 40 time made me look slow. Stretching is what got me so much faster. And again, it opened up my stride, helped me recover faster, number one as well. But stretching is something you should heavily prioritize. If you guys would like a stretching routine that you can do, I could send you one. Just post in the comments below. Just say, hey, coach, send me the stretching routine. And I'll just send you a link to it. It's on our website. It's completely free. But fellas, stretching is so important. It's so important for your speed, so important to open up your stride. So if you don't have access to a speed coach, maybe a gym, whatever it is, whatever reason it is, stretching is something you can do every day that does not take that much time to help you get that much faster. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like a 4-week wide receiver on-field workout schedule with all the drills you should be doing completely mapped out for you so you don't have to think about it, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.